Welcome back to The Grind. Wave 2 of the Eclipse season is upon us, and we are getting a legendary warrior and a new defensive rider, which I'm very excited to talk about. So this new legendary warrior is a dark element warrior, and these are the spells that will be coming. First is Collapsing Star, which is a white 2-rage spell that gives the dragon a shield for 150% of its modified HP, which is pretty big, and it lasts 6 seconds. Or if it's broken, or upon completion of the 6 seconds, the shield explodes and damages towers for 30% of dragon's modified HP. That is a pretty large number because it is a warrior. They do have a lot more HP, so that is going to do some pretty decent damage. And as we said, it's 6 seconds, or when it is canceled, it explodes. And then it has a 4-second cooldown, which is not that long for this type of spell. Now the next one is Frozen Comet, a white 1-rage spell that deals 11% of dragon's modified HP as damage to all towers in a target area and freezes them for 4 seconds, and then has a 6-second cooldown. I believe that 0.5-second duration it must be just a typo there, but the radius of this spell is really going to be what determines the utility of this spell. Regardless, you can use it while coming around the corner to freeze the mage towers so that they can't mage drain you, or to freeze the shield tower, or ice Flak so that they can't activate their super shots. Now the next spell is Dark Matter Engine, which is a blue spell, and it is 1 rage cost. The dragon gains 75% increased damage and deals 25% of its maximum HP to itself as damage over 5 seconds. So you're kind of damaging yourself to get increased damage output. The dragon then heals for 12% of its maximum HP per tower destroyed while this buff is active. And his rage regeneration will be increased by 100% during that time, and it is a 5-second duration with a 4-second cooldown. So that is a effective spell for gaining back rage as well as healing, as long as you're able to destroy more than 2 towers. Now, if you can't get through more than 2 towers, you will end up going down in health overall from that spell. However, if you have Frozen Comet available and you've already activated Collapsing Star, the burst damage from that shield explosion as well as the Frozen Comet should be able to help you take down at least 2 towers. Otherwise, this dragon will seriously struggle to get through bases, especially with defenders. It's going to be challenging because the shield will activate and then you won't be able to use the blue spell until you take out the shield and the blue mage. And the last spell is Adaptive Flak Resist, which is very interesting for a warrior, but you cycle between different flak resists, and each time you do, it is 0.25 rage per use. So you get a quarter of a bar of rage every time you activate it, and it can be activated every 0.5 seconds. So you can cycle that fairly quickly to gain back rage between islands, as well as use it when you're going into an island to reduce the damage that you'll take from certain flaks that are set up on the base. So when flying this dragon, I would imagine you want to activate your shield right near the start of the island. Now, typically I like to activate shields early on the corner so that they explode when I'm facing the island. However, if you do that with this dragon, then yes, you get a very nice burst of damage right away, but you probably won't be able to destroy all 5 of the front towers before the opponent heals them. So you might get down 1 before a heal goes off and then still be struggling to take down the remaining towers. And after you use that shield, you really don't have a defensive spell, especially if you don't get the blue mage down. You have no way to heal either. So what I would probably recommend is holding on to that shield until you're either facing already or shortly before you face the island, and try to use the Frozen Comet either on an ice flak that will disable the shield or on a howitzer tower from the back island. That can be a very effective spell to protect yourself from long range attacks. Now, once the blue mage is down, if you get that far, then you can activate Dark Matter Engine, which will start to take some of your health away because you lose 25% over 5 seconds. So you want to be very careful about when you activate this. If you're already below 50% and you're going to be taking some damage, you might not want to risk hurting yourself unless you know that there's a tower that is very low health that you will be able to destroy right away. Another thing about this spell is you probably want to activate it right before the explosion of Collapsing Star, because that way any of the towers that die from the explosion, or however many towers the explosion gets you close enough to destroying with your breath damage, that will all count towards healing you with a 12% for each tower destroyed. So the timing of those two spells might be important for whether or not you survive the run. And then of course Adaptive Flak Resist to keep your rage up as well, plus keeping it activated on, say, the Dark Flak until you have a chance to take it down, or whatever flak is the main one that you'll be facing at the time. So that's all I have for this video on this dragon so far, until I get a chance to test fly it and get some videos so that I can review it a little bit more that way. But I personally am more excited about the defensive rider, and that is because it is going to give you the absolute best construction cost reduction that is ever available in the game up to this time. So that video will be coming soon once it is in the game and I have a chance to fully, look into it and prepare my video, maybe by tomorrow. But take a look at that, because the details on that are pretty awesome. If you already have the 12% construction bonus decrease, then it's not a major change, but over the course of a long period, like 6 months to a year, it definitely is going to make a significant difference in the amount of timers that it costs you. And who knows, the next time we'll get a defensive rider that has a better construction bonus than this one, because this is the first time since the game released the Atlas construction or defender rider that a construction bonus discount has been more than that 12%. So who knows when this will happen again. I, for one, am very excited about trying to get this rider. I think I should be able to make it work with my season plans, but I'm going to have to take a look at that and review it and put some serious thought into this rider so that I can have the extra construction bonus to save on timers. Now, something important to note is that if you have a different rider with construction bonus and you put both of these riders on your base on 2 different perches, you only get the benefit of the construction bonus from the rider who has the best bonus. So if you put one with 10% and one with 12%, you only get the 12% construction bonus. You do not get 22% construction bonus. It is just the one that has the highest stat. So keep that in mind. And if you are a lower level player, or you're not as intense in the game and you can only get 1 or 2 branches and you already have the defender from Atlas that gives you the 12%, that one might be okay for you, because the amount of timers that you're going to go through in the next year or two is probably not as significant. But at the same time, anything that you can save, if it does fit your season plan, is going to help you save on timers so you can continue to progress more. But it's a balance for sure. The newer, lower level players might not be able to get it, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. You will be able to progress in the game and eventually get a construction bonus rider that will have decent stats, and maybe a year from now, maybe 2 years from now, the next one with better stats will come out. But I'm hoping that they will start to make these a little bit more frequent so that players who miss out this time can get one again in the near future. So I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.